This is a Tommy's Matchbook build called the Masochistic Avarice. For this build, you will obviously need the Tommy's Matchbook, the exotic boots, secant filaments, and the Voidwalker subclass. So, the first part of this build is the Tommy's Matchbook. It is a solar 720 RPM exotic auto rifle. Now, I feel like this gun is not used very often because it doesn't seem like that the reward is worth the sacrifice. And so this gun's intrinsic perk is Ignition Trigger, and it grants the user increased damage after firing for an extended period of time, but it damages the user. I believe the damage bonus is around 100% increase, and that's pretty significant, allowing you to wipe rooms like I'm doing here in this lost sector in like seconds. Now the downside is the fact that you will be infinitely one-shot. But you might notice right now that I'm not one-shot, and this is where the other two parts of the build come in. So we're using Voidwalker because we're going to be using Devour. Devour grants you health on kills, and this is a pretty standard option for people that run Voidwalker, but we'll be pairing this with the Secant Filaments. Now I honestly wouldn't be surprised if you had not heard of these, because I believe that these are extremely underutilized. The Secant Filaments have two parts to them. The first part grants you overload rounds while sitting in a rift, and the second part grants you Devour when you place an empowering rift. The first part is just an added bonus for us, because what we really want is to devour from the secant filaments. Now you might not think that this is significant, but one thing that I have found out about the max for normal devour is 15 seconds. So whenever you kill enemies, you can build it up to 15 seconds, but not over. But the maximum time for secant filaments devour is 21 seconds. This gives you an extra 7 seconds to find an enemy and keep your devour. And with Tommy's, you'll be draining your health constantly, but you'll be getting a lot of kills with it. And the Devour will heal you on every kill, and you'll stay at almost full health if like the entire time, especially if there's a high ad density. Now there are a few fragments and aspects that you'll want to run. The first aspect will be Child of the Old Gods. This gives you a seeker buddy that will track enemies and give you health back while draining their health whenever you place a rift. Now this will be good because we're going to be using our rift to get Devour. And next is Feed the Void. Now this is good if you just want another way to get Devour instead of your empowering rift, as it gives you Devour on ability kills. Now one thing to note is that Secant Filaments will not give you the improved Devour if you already have normal Devour. So if you just want the improved Devour, you can run the other aspect here. Now the fragments that you'll want to use are Echo of Persistence, which will allow you to have a longer Devour. So, I mean, obviously this is basically a Devour build. The Echo of Expulsion pairs well if you are using Feed the Void, because Void ability kills will make the target explode. Echo of Obscurity is something that I just like to use so I can get a finisher, regen to full health, and then escape while invis. Now I don't really run mods with builds, but there are some things that synergize well with this build. Now I do run auto rifle loader, so I have more uptime on my Tommy's Matchbook. Sustained Charge is a good mod if you like using Charge with Light. It makes you charge with light whenever you rapidly defeat targets with an auto rifle. You can also run Protective Light, and Protective Light grants you extra damage resistance whenever you're charged with light and you are at critical health. This got a nerf a few seasons ago, but still works pretty well with this build. And for Season of the Plunder, I've been using Anti-Barrier Auto as well. Now I would recommend this build if you want a good ad clear for low to mid-level PvE activities.